end result. Let's see, this is really big, but that looks pretty cool. I'll probably say that for later. So we turn that on 1. It's way too much. Apparently we need small powers of Julia scope on this one. Neat setting, but that gap is just a little bit out of my taste, so I'll take it off. Let's tinker around with the Julia. Julia tends to give us real good results on these, so. This is with the Z-axis turned on. That's real nice. That's into my pattern. This is on a straight one for this. If you notice, on all the transforms, I did not play with the weights. It's because I found with the variance in weight, you actually get more distortion in your final render. Okay, so here I'm playing around with a few other things like rectangles. I'm kind of keeping this on just for purely show what you can do with some things. Now I'm going to scale it down. I'm going to tinker between 10 and 15. It's a quick way to get a bigger view, but 25 is way too much, so I'll normally go 15, and if I need it bigger, I'll zoom in. I mean, I got plenty of time. I'll have this rendering while I go to sleep, so. So that's obviously zoomed out enough, so we'll zoom it in a little bit with scale 15. It's a decent scale for me. It's what I normally use. I'm going to change it to my regular image size 2, which is double the size of my screen, which is 1440 by 900. Typically, you want to tinker with your zoom additions after you have finished with everything you want done. Now here I'm changing the colors. Okay, I move the slider to the end, and I'm going to go to a middle transform. I'm going to move a little bit to the left of that. This way it cycles through all the colors as we go through the fractal. A little bit later I'll actually change the color speed too, which will decide how this lays out a little bit more. Okay, so I'm pretty much done right there, so I'm just cleaning up a little bit. We're just going to be tinkering around with the final image. This may or not be my final image. So, I'm going to go to the flame. I'm going to calculate colors values. Always do this whenever you're working with your final image, or at least what you think is going to be your final image. You'll notice that I have kind of a fickle mind when it comes to these. So this gradient obviously isn't working. Normally I like to have bright colors that really stand out at it, or bring out the features and details that are hard to see. Some people like to play with gamma to get this. I'd rather get this with raw color. So I'm going to tinker around with a few different gradients here. Got a banana one, kind of funny looking. If you notice, the render time for my full render takes a long time because I have it on quality setting 25, which gives me a better idea. On the previews, I actually got set to between 2 and 5. I don't exactly remember right now, but it comes up real fast. It's a good way to check where the colors are going to be. Sometimes it's a good idea too, just to make sure it's just one color. Just have different varying shades of that color. Here I go through, kind of rotating through to see if I can get the best output on it. So now I decided to do something drastic. I'm going to do that in a second, but here we go. I'm going to remove all the rectangle, for the most part anyways. There we go, the rectangle's gone. So I'm going to go back to where I was. As I told you, I have a fickle mind when it comes to these. Now I actually have an idea in mind. You'll see it at the end. But for right now, we're going to go to colors, and we're going to change the color speed a little bit here. You know, it's the final, on the final one, the color speed is 1. What changing these color speeds to middle values will do will make the color change more even instead of just straight off. This is good, and your Technicolor style ones. And again, I'm going to compute the color values again and play around with it. If you notice on the outside ring, there's also a bit of distortion. I'm not worried about that because I'm not thinking about that part right now. I already know what image I want, so, and you'll see that in a minute. Right now I'm just trying to bring out those features. Okay, I think I got that where I need it. I'll tinker around with it a little bit more. Here I go again. Okay, so I have that how I want it. And now I'm going to tinker with the final image. So I'm going to zoom it in and all that good stuff. But here you're going to see my main transform. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. This is going to set the center up to where it works up nice with the full image. I'm going to give us the appearance of eyes looking at us actually. Okay, so there we have it right there. So we're going to go into the rendering settings, set a file name, of course. As you can see, you got my default values. I got density at 2000, filter radius at 0.8, and oversample at 5. I always choose an odd number. I like 5 because I don't got enough RAM, even though I got 6 gigs of RAM. I'm going to set it at 120,000 force